Is your team costing you thousands of dollars in lost management? I'm going to walk you through data from 120,000 properties. It's going to show you how much you really are losing from your staff churn. Sit tight because I have a free gift to give away at the end of this. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get all my future videos as they come along. So I'm Hooley and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be about identifying staff churn in your business and how much it's truly costing you. So when I go into a lot of business, often they're not aware on what their staff churn is like, and often ask them how their team is performing. And I've covered this in previous videos where they don't truly understand how their staff are performing and often operate by gut feel, and that's where I've endorsed the use of KPIs to help performance manage your team. So what you find is that you end up, because teams you're not getting the maximum out of your teams, you're ending up with quite a high staff churn, and that's costing you dearly in lost management because your clients are feeling the pain. So one of the things that I've always advocates is that if you're feeling the pain in your business, your client is feeling the pain. And one of the things that I actually endorse even more is that your client often feels the pain long before you do in the business. So if you're hurting, your clients are definitely hurting. So let's walk through the data. I've got them here on the screen for you now. So what we've done is we've built out four different scenarios, and hang tight with me because this may get a little confusing just the way I'm walking you through it. But basically we've got four different scenarios. The first two scenarios are property managers in the business that don't leave. They're just in an adjacent portfolio, for example. So let's walk through those two. So this first one here is where a portfolio is steady over time. It's had the same property manager for a long period of time. And what you'll see is that in this graph here, you've got a line down the middle, and that's the time to which the property manager has actually left the business, or a property manager has left the business. And you'll see what we've done is we've tried to record data from 12 weeks before and 12 weeks afterwards to get us about a 6-month timeline. And then down the left-hand side, we have the percentage of lost managements to that particular portfolio, not to the business itself, but to that particular portfolio. So what we've got here in scenario one is a property manager that has been consistently over time, and they're adjacent to another property manager that may have left the business. I don't mean physically adjacent, I mean actually they're just part of the same business. So you'll see here the properties start to decline over the first 12 weeks, and then you'll see the property manager leaves and they continue to decline. And the theory around this is that this particular staff member is probably helping out around the office to take the pressure off the staff member that's not performing. So perhaps the staff member is away lots, which often happens leading up to termination, they're taking lots of leave, or they're just not committed to their job and they find they're inundated by work and other people are having to step in and help out. And because that happens, what happens is that they're dropping the ball in their own portfolio and they're not servicing their own clients as they should. So this is what scenario one is. Now scenario two is a property manager that perhaps that particular portfolio did have a turnover of a property manager previously, and this is a reasonably new property manager. However, this property manager is still not the property manager that's left. This is just another adjacent property manager. And you can see this curve is a little slighter. You'll see there's a bit of a kink in there, but you'll see the same trend happens. It's just a little bit more severe, because these particular clients had gone through a changing property manager previously, so they'd already felt the pain. They're now feeling the pain again, and although this property manager is not leaving, again, the scenario is that this property manager is probably having to do some heavy lifting and helping with the underperforming property manager that potentially left. So that's scenario two. So scenario 3 and 4, which I'll walk you through now, is about the property manager that left. Okay, so this is scenario 3, and this is what we call a warm handover. So this is where more than likely the property manager has given notice, and you've probably had a handover period where you've done some knowledge sharing to try and reduce the impact on your clients. But as you can see, it hasn't really reduced the impact that much. And you'll see that from 12 weeks out, the line starts to decline down, and then it keeps going long after the property manager left. And again, the theory around this is that this property manager didn't decide to leave on a particular day. That had been coming over a period of months. And it could have been coming for two reasons. One, because they weren't good at their job and they had just given up. Or two, which is more importantly, is that you hadn't given them the support you needed as a company. If you're identifying their performance early on in the piece and be able to put them into a formal performance management program, you could have identified specifically the areas where they weren't performing and helped them to improve that. And that would have taken the weight off them starting to fall behind in all their other work. once they start falling behind, they get into this kind of steamroll which they can never recover from. And that's where you find they come in one day and they literally just quit and walk out the door. So this is what this scenario is. Again, this one was a warm handover, so perhaps there was a bit of knowledge sharing that went on before the staff member left. So this last one, which is the one that's going to take you by surprise, and you'll see these lines, they all curve down, and these last ones, 3 and 4, they're curving down well beyond 25% of the portfolio. So what we're saying here is your staff churn are costing you 25% of your managements over a 6-month period for those particular portfolios. So you'll see in this last one, scenario 4, this is what we call a cold handover. So the property manager left abruptly. So in this instance, it's more than likely you've terminated them. And you can see again, they haven't been performing for several months leading up to this point in time. And again, it's coming back to if you had KPIs in your business and you had a performance management framework in your business, in many cases you can save these people. It's not that these people are bad property managers. Often these people just didn't have the skill to do the job. And then the work kind of builds up on them, and then, as I said, that kind of steamrolls, they get behind, and eventually, in this particular case, you've probably lost hope in them and you've terminated them, walked them out the door. If you were using a proper performance management framework and KPIs, you would have been able to identify that within the first couple of weeks, and then you could have put them in a program to help them upskill in areas that they weren't performing in, and that would have taken the pressure off. But what happens here is that you're flying fairly blindly. And what I've always said is it does take you 2 or 3 months to notice a property manager not performing. If you're not measuring it and you're running by gut feel, it can take several months before you notice that they're not performing. And then it gets to the period of time where you're going, you know, this is ridiculous, and then you terminate them, and then you'll see here on scenario 4 is the line actually plateaus a little bit. And what our theory is on this is because this is such a steep line where you've got lots of very angry owners terminating their managements, is the ones at the left think, oh great, that property manager's now gone and I'll hang tight because I'll probably get a good one now. And you'll see it plateaus for a couple of weeks afterwards, and then you'll see it continues down, and that's only while the new property manager settles in. So basically, this is the data I wanted to share with you. I wanted you to understand from a 120,000 property sample that this is real. So when I walk into a property management business and I say to them, how much do you lose in asset from your staff churn? And people say not much often. This is actually data from 120,000 properties. It shows it can potentially have a very big impact over a 6-month period in your business of a reduce in asset. So if you have a look in the comments down underneath, I've put a link to a free document for you which you can have. It's kind of a draft of a presentation I did at a conference earlier on in the year, and it's all around the framework of a high performance team. So it goes through and explains why you should have KPIs, why you should have performance management, position descriptions and things like that. So that's for you in the link below. So if you click on that, you can download that document, have it for free, and that's my thank you for sitting through the session today. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified of up and coming YouTube videos. So good luck with your team. If you need a hand, reach out at adamhooley.com. I'm Adam Hooley. Talk again soon.